Hey, what's up? It's JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia here in my new condo. And I want to apologize for those who went on the other night or the other day, I guess. I screwed up on my scheduling this. So I saw a couple of comments when I logged on this morning that I don't think he's coming on right now. So yeah, it was supposed to be today. So here we are earlier than normal because the Nebraska game um, is on at 9 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock this morning. So I wanted to do this first and then watch the Nebraska debacle. But hopefully you guys are on. We'll wait a little bit for everybody to get on, and we'll got some things to talk about. And whatever you guys have in chat, whatever's on your mind. But you can see in the background this is my new condo. I really like it. It's a lot nicer than the one I was at before in Samut Prakan. But right, I'm in the Prompong area. Really great neighborhood. Really great area. I'm not on Sukhumvit Road, but I'm close to it. I'm like 8 minute walk to the BTS. And then if it's raining or if it's too hot or whatever, I can take they have a shuttle here that goes to and from Emporium Mall. And usually what I do now when I walk, I just walk up to Emporium Mall and then go up to take the escalator to the second floor. And then outside Emporium Mall is the BTS. So I don't have to take all those flights of steps going up if I don't want to. But yeah. So yeah, we'll hang out a little bit until more people show up, and then we'll get things started. Looks very homely. Homely or homey? It's very homely. Yeah, it's very homey. Yeah, I really like it. It's very modern, kind of Western. It's got these faux wood blinds throughout, which are really cool. I like. Um, it's got that Godfather office look. You know, if you remember the Godfather when he's in his office, they've got these type of blinds, so it's kind of neat. Got real wood flooring, which I really like. Kitchen's bigger. The place I was at before had a little galley kitchen. It was very small. So I didn't have any cooking utensils. Here I do. So I was able to grocery shop, and I'll do a video on buying groceries and give you, but today we'll just kind of run down what I bought and compare prices with you guys. Um, so when is this happening? Well, good morning, Steve. When is what happening? Good morning from Kalinga, Luzon. Yeah, batten down the hatches there, buddy. It's not looking good for you guys. It's heading your way. So the second big super typhoon to hit the Philippines in the last week. It's been crazy. Homely as in house. Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. I like it. I'm very happy with where I'm at. So, but yeah, we'll wait a couple more minutes. More people get on. We'll talk more about that. What else is on your guys' mind? I just watched the highlights of the Indiana Penn State game, and that was a close one. Indiana pulled it out at the end. Wow, to stay undefeated. Which is, I think that's good for Nebraska because we have to play Penn State next weekend. Not next weekend. We got a bye week. The weekend after that. So I think this was Penn State's bowl game. Now they're 3-6, and I think this is a really devastating loss for them because they played their hearts out and they got up at the end and then they couldn't hold the lead and they lost. So I think that will be a dagger, and I think they'll give up the rest of the season. I'm hoping, or at least next week or 2 weeks from now. Hopefully they'll give up. So hopefully Nebraska can go in there and win. But they played really well. So let's see. What else is going on, guys? So we can talk a little bit about my grocery shopping. So there's a Big C and a Lotus store right down the street here, not even 3 blocks down the street. So I went to the Big C and got some groceries because I can cook now. So I basically got stuff for pasta. I got some penne pasta, got some extra virgin olive oil, um, got some beef, ground beef, and some spaghetti sauce, just a can or the jar of spaghetti sauce. And I got some other things too, some things I needed: toilet paper, deodorant, shampoo, things like that. So it was pretty expensive. I think it was about $85. So hi, JJ. Nice to finally catch you on a live stream. Can you tell me about your Thai language course, cost, attendance, requirements, and length of course? Thank you in advance. Well, thanks for coming on, Cam the Cook. Appreciate it. Must be from Canada. Is that? I see the maple leaf there in the logo. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. I'll give you my price rundown. Hey, Steve, thanks for the super sticker. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's talk about the Thai language school really quick. So I've been in it about 6 weeks now, 5 or 6 weeks, I want to say. I think I started the last week in September. So it's been about 6 weeks. So let me get my glasses on and I can run down the cost for you. So I had an option to take, they have 3 levels total where I went to. I'm going to Sandy School of, Sandy, SANDEE, Sandy School of Thai Language. And I looked at 4 or 5 different places and I chose that one for a couple of reasons. One, it was a little cheaper and a little more, it was the location was good. I liked the location. It wasn't the most convenient location of the ones I looked at, but it was a good location. And I liked the fact that it was a little cheaper. And then when I went and visited, I liked the people I talked with and I liked the classroom and all that. So you can do 3 levels. If you sign up for all 3 levels, it's a 14-month course and it's 33,000 baht, which is about $1,000. About $999, about $1,000. So I didn't sign up for all 3 levels at once. If you do all 3 levels at once, you get a little discount. I didn't want to because I wasn't sure how well I would do, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And if I totally failed on it, I'd be out all that money and not go through all those courses. So when I got back from the Philippines after I got my passport renewed, I came back here and I signed up, and I wanted to sign up just for 1 level, but you couldn't do that. You had to sign up for at least 2 levels. So I signed up for levels 1 and levels 2. And then they said, well, after you're done with level 2, you can sign up for level 3. Or if you don't feel like you're ready for level 3, you can do level 2 again. So levels 1 and levels 2 is basically an 8-month program, and that cost me 25,000 baht total. So just a little over 25,000 baht, which is about $750. And then you pay 2,000 for the initial application for your education visa, and then there'll be then you have to do your education visa extension every 3 months. So that's about 1,900 baht. So the total cost for me was almost $1,000, like $890, something like that total. I think I can't remember exactly what it was. So it'll be like 800 some dollars, and then my extensions. I have like 3 extensions that I'll do. So we're talking $55 each. So everything through all the extensions will be about $1,000, and then a little over 1,000. And then I'll sign up for level 3 or level 2 again. and that's another 11,000 baht, which is another 330 or $350. So all in all, and then your extensions on top of that, which will be another two extensions, I think. So all in all, the whole thing's going to cost me about $1,300 or $1,400. And then when I'm all done with that, I'll just roll that into a retirement visa. So there you go. That's my cost on everything for the school. Um, the courses are fun. It's 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, and then it's just 2 hours, not even 2 hours a day. We start at 1:30, and we usually get done around 3 or a little after 3 o'clock. So about an hour and a half each day. So it's not bad. And then really you only have to show up twice a week, as far as attendance, to satisfy the requirements for your education visa. Um, but I missed a bunch because I was sick. So I missed 1 week, and then I missed last Tuesday when I moved. So I felt like I really missed a lot, and so I try to go every day. It doesn't make any sense to keep missing school because you fall behind, because you learn a lot each day. So anyway, I came back to Ireland to be with my uncle in his last days. Glad I'm not in the Philippines this week. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, that's too bad for your uncle. I'm sorry about that. It's probably nice to get back for a little while, but once we get through all these typhoons, hopefully by the end of November, things will clear up, and you can come back and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Sent you $5 to buy a house plant to your new condo. If you don't want a house plant, get a beer. I was actually there's a vendor, a street vendor, right down the street on my way back to walking to Sukhumvit, who sells plants, house plants. So I was thinking about that the other day, buying a house plant. So I think I'll take you up on that, Steve. My balcony's right out here, so I can just sit it outside to get some sun every day. So yeah, I think I will take advantage of that $5 super sticker. So appreciate that. I will get a house plant. I'll name it Steve. TP, no gun in your new place. Oh yeah, this is a bum gun, but I still use the toilet paper. So too much information. Have you visited the wet market just down the street from your place? Not yet, but I plan to. That's over on, I believe, 24. Or I'm sorry, 26. I'm on 24. It's over on 26, I think. But yeah, I will go check that out. It's been kind of a hectic day. I'm not even completely unpacked. I got bags in my bedroom on the floor that have all my shoes and all my hats and all other things. I unpacked all my clothes. All my clothes are unpacked. What else? All my computer, obviously, I got that. And you can see my Buddha in the background there, and my Irish flag, and then that's my little. When I went back 2 years ago to my college reunion, that was a little award I won, so I put that there too. But anyway, yeah. So I haven't even unpacked everything. So getting the groceries was a pretty big step for me. Hey, Rick. Hey, JJ, if Vietnam introduces retirement visa, would you move there? I don't think so. Right now, no, but you never know. I'll be here for a year. I actually signed a 2-year lease here to lock in my discounted price. He gave me a discount on the price here. So I got a 2-year lease. So a year worth of education visa, and then I'll do my retirement visa for a year. And then at that point, if I get tired of Thailand or tired of Bangkok, then I might think about moving. But, right now, I do love going to Da Nang, Vietnam. But man, their weather, it gets pretty nasty this time of year. In fact, they got hit by that last typhoon that went through the Philippines. This new one that's coming through northern Luzon and Manila area, that's going to, from what I'm looking at the tracking, that's going to track north. So it's going to miss the border of Vietnam basically and head toward Taiwan. So Da Nang will be okay. But I heard that Hoi An got hit really bad with the most flooding they've ever had. So it got pretty nasty over there. So, but right now, no plans, but never say never, right? Can I still hit? Jeez. Okay, whatever, dude. Returning next Saturday, so I will miss your live stream next week. Okay, that's all right. Safe travels, buddy, and we'll see you when you get back. Happy to hear you're satisfied with your new place. I hope it continues. Yeah, I'm so far so good. I have no complaints. Um, I got my internet hooked up the very next day I moved in, so that's nice. It's 1,000 download and 500 upload, I think, or vice versa. But anyway, so it's super fast. It's a lot faster than the free Wi-Fi I had there at the other place, and it's $6.99 a month. So that's 21 bucks a month. So super cheap and really fast. So where's your American flag? I actually looked into getting one on Amazon, but it got the import fees so high. So I'm going to wait until I can find something that's a little cheaper, but I will get one definitely. Same here. Clothes unpacked, but nothing organized. Yeah, exactly. Um, I've got to figure out. I've got a lot of little storage spaces like here, and then got some drawers in here, and then my closet, and then I've got two dressers or chest of drawers in my bedroom. That's got a lot of space. So I just have to figure out. The only place I really don't have anything for is my suitcases, my luggage. I really don't have a place to put any of that. So right now it's on the other side of my bed over by the window there. So, but yeah, but it's been fun. It's been a good time. And I enjoy the evenings. The view's really nice in the evening with the city lit up. And I'll show you, I'll give you a tour. I'll do a video tour of my condo and of the facilities because the pool is amazing. It's got a great view. I'll do that, excuse me, in the evening so I can show you the view of the city from the pool. And then the workout facilities are really nice too. And the workout facilities are on the other side where the pool is. And so you get a view of the Chao Phraya River, which is pretty cool too. So I think I'll do my workout early in the morning before the sun comes up or at night when the lights are on in the city. It'll be pretty cool. So I think I'll have a nice view of the fireworks. I think they do fireworks on the river for New Year's. Marty, you might be able to chime in on that. You'd probably know. You've lived here for a long time. You'd know what the deal is on that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to spending New Year's. Actually, I was in where was I yesterday? Might have been when I was at Lotus the other day getting my groceries, but they have Christmas trees. So I'm going to get a little Christmas tree to put up this year. So I haven't done that um, since I moved to. I had a tree, a small tree when I lived in Manila in BGC, but I haven't had anything since then. So I want to do Christmas this year. So it'd be fun. And there's a lot of places, a lot of restaurants here in Bangkok that do Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, the turkey dinners, and the whole thing. So I'm going to definitely maybe hook up with some friends and do Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. Um, this was the reminder I needed to retire before 62, aiming for 58 now. Wow. Okay. Good for you. Yeah. If you can do it, do it. Don't wait. Don't wait till you're too old and your health is bad to enjoy life. I'm sure you should be able to find flags on Lazada or Shopee. Yeah, I'll check. I'll check that today. I'm not sure, but I will definitely check that. That'd be cool. I was thinking about doing that, and just having the flags crossed, um, and maybe even getting one for the Philippines since I lived there for 3 years. Getting one there and show my respect there too. So that'd be kind of cool. The big fireworks show is Icon Siam Mall, possibly Asian Teak. Okay, cool. I'll have to check and see if I can see those places from where I'm at, from my from the rooftop where I'm staying now. So that'll be interesting to see. That would be kind of cool, though. All right, so let's go through the groceries since we're caught up on. So I went and got groceries. Now this won't be the average monthly bill for me because a lot of these things like the shampoo and the olive oil and the um, the salt and pepper, things like that that I buy, and I'll only buy, you know, like the shampoo. I got 2 for 1, so I got 2 big jugs of shampoo. That's going to last me probably the entire 2 years I'm living here. Um, things like that I only get once every couple of months. So the toilet paper, I got the big 8 roll toilet paper that cost me 115 baht. So that's about $3.50. Um, I got milk. I got a half a gallon of milk for 100 baht, so that's $3. You guys can chime in on chat and let me know how that equates to Western costs because I haven't lived or bought groceries in the U.S. for 3 years, almost 4 years. Um, so I don't know what the prices are like there. Eggs, they don't have dozens of eggs. They have 10 eggs in a carton. So I got 10 eggs for 69 baht. So that's about $2.10. I got 2 big potatoes, good for baked potatoes that I'll cook up with my spaghetti probably, or I might go grab a steak. But that was 22 baht, so that's about 66 cents. So I thought that was pretty good. I got the real honey. So you can buy honey here, but you got to be careful because some of the stuff they sell here is not real honey. It's honey flavored. So you have to be really careful and look for the 100% real honey. So I got a bottle about this big of 100% real honey, and that was 125 baht. So that was about $3.75. So that was pretty good, I thought. You buy your bags at the grocery store or you bring your own. I didn't bring any, so I bought 2 bags to put my groceries in. They were like 9 baht each, so that was insignificant. I got a loaf of bread for 44 baht, so that's about $1.30. The olive oil, got a nice good sized jug of olive oil that's going to last me a long time. That was $2.99, so that's about $6. Butter, I got a tub of butter, not a tub, but a square of butter, real butter, 84 baht, so that's about $2.50. Oatmeal, I got the fast cooking oatmeal. I got 2 bags about this size. 2 bags cost me 110 baht, so that's about $3.30. Spaghetti sauce, a jar of spaghetti sauce for 105 baht, so a little over $3. Tub of mayo for 269. So we're talking that was a little expensive, but that'll last me a while. So that's probably about $8, maybe something like that. I got a stick of deodorant for 199, so that's $6. So that's a little expensive. A bag of penne pasta for 69 baht, so that's about 210. A big jug of water for 38 baht, so that's about $1, a little over $1. My 2-for-1 shampoos cost 3.98, so that's about $12. But I got 2 things of shampoo that'll last me 2 years easily because I don't have a lot of hair. The salt and the pepper were a little expensive. I got the sea salt grinder and the pepper mill grinder. Those were 110 baht each. So we're talking a little over $3 each. And then I got a jar of peanut butter for 95 baht. So that's about $3. And then a jar of jelly or jam. That's 119 baht. So that's about $3.60. I got 4 cans of tuna packed in water, so I'll have tuna sandwiches I can make for lunch, and that was about 192 baht, so that's about $6, so a little over $1 a can of tuna, and that's about it. So the total cost came to 2,776, so 2,776 baht. And with the current exchange rate, 2,776 comes to $85.69. I think when I got it, it was $83. So $85.69 for that grocery list. So let me know in chat if that's higher, lower, about the same as in the West. Hard to tell. I don't know. So, but I probably won't be buying a lot of groceries. I'll do more. I'll do a lot of eating out. There's a lot of street vendors, markets near me, so I'll be doing that. Got my first Christmas tree in 15 years. It's ceramic, 18-inch high. Got it at Costco. After 25 years in the military, I figure it's about time I start living as close to a normal life as possible. Yeah, I agree. Have you set up 18-liter water delivery service? No, I have not. I have to figure out. I'll contact the juristic office here and find out if they have delivery here. I need to do that. I need to get a bigger coffee mug. So I'll go to IKEA or Lotus or somewhere. And this is a decent size, but I need a big one because I've got 2 cups here. so I need one, or I need like a Yeti so I can put it in there and it stays hot. But yeah, I need to figure out how to order those big giant liters of water service. So I did that in the Philippines and it was great. It's like 50 pesos and they deliver it right to your door in your condo. See, worst case scenario, if you had to break your condo lease, do you just lose deposit? Are the landlords okay with that? Yeah, usually from what I understand, if you break your lease, they keep your deposit. If the only reason I'll break my lease if an emergency happens and I have to leave the country or something like that, I have to go home, or if I don't know, or if I get sick and whatever. But I don't see that happening. But yeah, I would lose my 2 months deposit, which is pretty significant, about $1,500 US. So I'm not planning on doing that. I'll get my deposit back by the end of this month from my old place. So that'll be a nice little Christmas gift the end of November. Do you use those moisture removal crystals, water eaters? If not, do you use a dehumidifier? You may find unwanted mildew and mold growth in your closets. No, I will get a stand-up dehumidifier probably. Now, the aircon in the bedroom has that option to use it as a dehumidifier, so I'll use that on occasion. But the one in here is in the wall. It's not one of those units that are on the wall. It's actually in the wall, so I don't know if there's an option for that or not. I got 6 strip loin steaks today at Tesco at a cost of $50. Life is expensive in Ireland. What does that equate to in US dollars, Kiki and Jasmine? I'm not familiar with how the euro works or whatever that is, euro or pound or whatever that is, euro, I guess. 50 for 6 strip loin steaks. Sounds expensive. I ate at a really nice restaurant at Central World last weekend. I went with Gio, hung out with him, and he got his new Apple laptop. And we ate at this pasta restaurant called Num Num, Nam. Oh man, I had the best mushroom soup I've ever had in my life anywhere. It was fantastic, and the pasta I had was really, really good too. So it was so good. I was thinking about going back there today for lunch. About $60. Wow, shoot, that's expensive. So the half a pound or the half a kilo of ground beef that I got, and it's really good. I used it this morning. I got I used it yesterday. I made some pasta, ground some beef up. So a half a kilo. So 1 kilo is like 2.2 pounds. So a half a kilo would be a little over a pound. So if you equate the cost of my half a kilo of ground beef, which came to 285 baht, that's 879. So about half of that. So about a pound of a pound of beef here, pound of ground beef cost me about $4.40. So I don't know what a pound of beef, ground beef costs, and it was lean too. I mean, I had hardly any runoff, any grease runoff when I cooked it. So it was very, very lean beef. So $4.40 for a pound. How does that? What is a pound of lean ground beef in the U.S. now, guys? Let me know. Um, Prices seem better than U.S. prices. I traveled to North Carolina last month and was surprised by the cost, almost 10% higher than Canada before the exchange rates, around 30 to 35% with the exchange. Wow. Yeah, the West is nuts. Lean ground beef in Canada is about $8. Wow. Whew. That's for a pound. Wow. It's double that in Florida. That's crazy. I couldn't see, I can't, it would be hard for me to live in the US, to be honest, guys. I mean, I live a really nice life here. I could live in the US, you know, in some places where the cost of living is a little lower, like in my hometown in Nebraska, but it would be, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be comfortable. Let's put it that way. I would have to really budget tight to make it work. Um, yeah, that would be crazy. $7 a pound for ground beef. Wow. Shoot. That would be $10 in Ireland for ground beef. Wow. $8 a pound. Yeah, so anywhere between $7 and $10 for ground beef. So even I thought I was paying a lot more. I mean, I thought it was expensive, but when you break it down, it's still a lot cheaper. Even in, I mean, I'm in Prompong, which is a big expat community area. So you're going to pay more. You're going to pay higher prices at these big C's and Lotuses. Um, I'll have to check the prices at the markets in the M malls, the M Sphere and the M Quartier malls. They've got the big markets, fresh markets there that are a little more high end. You can get a lot more Western food there, but you're going to pay a premium price for it. I'll check those prices too, guys, so you kind of know what it is there. The West has gone crazy expensive. Yeah, it has, and it's not getting any better. I was hoping that prices would start going down, but it seems like when inflation hits, it goes up and then it levels off, but it never goes back down. Never gets back to close to where it was before. Prompong is really nice. I love it. I love it here. It's one of my favorite areas. Glad I escaped to the Philippines. Yeah, I'm glad you escaped the problems in the Philippines. Now, is your home safe? Um, have you heard from friends and family there in the Philippines? How are things going? Because I know I still am in contact with my ex girlfriend there, and we're still very close friends. And her mom and her, she's working in Manila, but her mother and her daughter are in Negros, and they were cut off from any communication for over a week after that first typhoon went through. They had no way to communicate. And then she was telling me, she's giving me updates. She's telling me the bridges into town were all washed out from all the flooding and the landslide. So it was rough, but her family's safe, so that was good to hear. Um, that's right. You're in our new place. Um, I'm late to the show, but how is your new place? I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Everything about it, I absolutely love. I have no complaints. The only difference, which is kind of odd for me, being here in Prompong as opposed to when I was up in or down in Samut Prakan, where I lived for a year outside of Bangkok. Nobody at the front desk speaks English, zero English. So I thought that was interesting. Where I was before, they spoke a little bit of English, so you can communicate without using a translator. But nobody at the front desk speaks any English. Now, the juristic office, they speak a little bit of English, but not a lot. So I thought that was interesting that being in a big condo, I mean, this is 44 floors. That's how big this place is, right in the middle of basically the expat community. You would think that they would speak a little more English, but they don't. So I'm going to have to rely on my translator, or hopefully I'll pick up on those Thai language classes and understand them a little better, be able to communicate with them. Does my U.S. phone with Straight Talk work in Asia with an eSIM? Would I be able to call, or I need another phone? How do phones work? Okay, so let me get some coffee here. So, okay, here's how phones work. So I've got T-Mobile, and I keep my T-Mobile. It's like $55 a month for the international plan, and I use that, and I can use my data anywhere free. You get unlimited. I get unlimited data anywhere, and it works great. I've never had a problem with data here in Thailand or in Vietnam. Philippines, if I'm in Metro Manila, it's okay. Some areas outside, it's a little spotty, but other than that, it's been great. You can get an eSIM as long as your phone has that option. Some phones you can't use. Some of the older phones you can't use eSIMs, I don't think. But yeah, you can use an eSIM, and I would suggest that if you don't have a data plan for an international. I think you have to make sure your phone's unlocked. I'm not sure. My phone's unlocked because it's been paid for years. My phone is so old. It is a Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and they're at the S25 now. So that'll give you a little hint of how old my phone is. But it works great. I still use it. And then I've got another phone. This is my phone I use for my YouTube videos, and I take that out. And that's a Galaxy also. That's a Samsung FE. I can't remember what number it is, but anyway, but it works fine for just what I use. And that's where my SIM card is for my Thailand phone. So I've got a Thai phone, and I use the postpaid. So it comes directly out of my, it pays directly every month. Same with my Wi-Fi. It's directly paid every month. So I've got, I think I got 10 gigabytes of data for my Thai phone, which I rarely use. I use it to make phone calls if I need to call, True, for my phone or my Wi-Fi, or if I need to call somebody local, I'll use that, but it's very rare. And then when I'm out and about, everybody has free Wi-Fi. I rarely go to a place, even if it's a small, tiny little Thai food stand, that you sit inside. They even have free Wi-Fi. So everybody around here has free Wi-Fi. So you can use your Wi-Fi. You can use the Wi-Fi pretty regularly here. So I've never had a problem. I don't know anything about Straight Talk. I don't know how that works. But yeah, I would do the eSIM when you travel over here. That's pretty convenient. Or just grab a SIM when you get here, pay for a little bit of that. How does high season affect you, if at all, as a person that lives there full time? Do prices increase for the things you do? Do you notice? I don't really notice. Now it'll be interesting because last high season I spent most of the time in Vietnam, in Da Nang, Vietnam. But that was rainy season for them. So high season gets started right about now, right at the end of rainy season, and it'll run through January. And then January and February will be kind of, that's the smoky season, of the burning season. So depending on what the weather's like as far as the pollution, I may take a trip down to Hua Hin or somewhere down south to get away from the pollution for a week or two. But yeah, it really doesn't affect me. I mean, it's busier, obviously, but I don't notice the price differences really. It doesn't. And tourism is down this year. And I'm going to do a video on this. I just read in Bangkok Post the other day about this new law that's coming to effect, or that on November 8th, which was yesterday, right? Um, where what they're going to do is, let me bring up the article so I can read it for you guys, a little bit of it. But what they're going to do is, so right now you can't buy alcohol at like 7-Elevens or grocery stores or any takeout service between 2 and 5 every day in the afternoon, right? So now they're looking at tightening those laws to make it prohibitive to drink during those hours. So even if you're in a bar, if you're drinking a beer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can get fined up to 10,000 baht. That's what they're talking about, which is about, what's 10,000 baht is over $300. So that's pretty significant. So it's been, I don't know what they're thinking with tourism down, and then they're throwing this out. Obviously not everybody drinks. I mean, and it's not going to make or break me if I can't have a drink between 2 and 5 in the afternoon. But still, just the that's happy hour for a lot of these places that rely on alcohol sales to help their inventory, help their revenue. So I just think they're shooting themselves in the foot when they talk about doing these things. Um, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll do a full video on that and give you guys a little more information as I get it. But it doesn't make sense to me to make it. So say if it's like 155 and you buy a beer, and at 2 o'clock you can't drink it, so you're going to get fined if they catch you with that beer. Um, yeah, that to me that doesn't make any sense. If they're trying to boost tourism, but they're doing this probationary stuff, and it's not hurting the businesses as far as the fines. They're fining the consumers. So that's what's kind of weird. So anyway, planning a trip to Bangkok and would like to stay in the Tong Lo area, possibly for a month of January. That's a really nice area too. A lot of I see a lot of digital nomads that live there, and I don't know if they're full time or backpack type, but I see a lot of families, a lot of Western families that live there. So you got young couples, relatively young in their 30s and 40s with young kids. So I see them all over that area. It's a high Japanese community too. So you get a lot of that Japanese influence as far as restaurants and that. So it's a really neat area. And I think it's a little more pricey than Phrom Phong, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody we know is safe, thank God. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Did you date in Vietnam? I did, little bit, but nothing serious. Just went out on a couple of dates. Just conversation and just companionship and that sort of thing. Let me put it this way: it's not hard to date in Vietnam. It's hard to date one person steady, because they'll go out with you on your first date, maybe even a second, but serious dating is different with them because they want to make sure you actually live there. So they're not interested in holiday boyfriends or things like that. So they won't get serious with you. But yeah, so short story, short answer. Yeah, I did date, but it was never anything serious, because I was only there for 3 months at one stretch. So have been walking to the BTS, or have you had to use the condo transportation? I've done the walking so far. The transportation, the shuttle is available if I want it, but it's only like an 8-minute walk for me. And it's cooler temps now. It's not as hot as it has been. So, and it has been rainy since I moved here. So I've been walking it, and it's great. I mean, I did a lot of walking. So what did I do? Oh, I had to send my my SSA 7162 form, my proof of life form to Social Security, and I sent it to the U.S. Embassy in Manila. That's one of the places. So I had to mail that. So I used DHL, and there's a DHL office in M Quartier Mall, which is right across Sukhumvit from 24. So I walked there. This was Friday. I went first. I walked down to the printer, had the form printed. Then I walked to the DHL office. Forgot I needed my passport, so I walked back home, which is another 10-minute walk. Got my passport, walked back to the DHL, sent out the form, and I think it was like 2,000 baht, so like $60 to mail it to Manila. So sent that out. They'll get it tomorrow, so I should get notification on my tracking that they received it. So I'll be good next year for my Social Security money. So I always worried a little bit about that. But anyway, then I walked to the station, the BTS station, took one. Then I went on to school, and I got to walk. When I get out of the MRT, I got to walk about 5 minutes to school. Walk back. By the time that whole day was done, I had 18,000 steps in. So it was a lot of steps, but it was good. So it's pretty convenient. That's right. Phone has to be unlocked for eSIM. That usually means the phone has to be fully paid for. Yeah, exactly, D. That's what I thought. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Jeff. It's Jeremy and Irene. Looking good, my friend. Hey, thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. How are things where you are? Are you back in the Philippines, or are you in Tulsa? I think you're in Tulsa, right? If I remember right. What do you know about the RE area? So a YouTuber showed this area and looked really nice, more laid back. Not sure on condo cost for that. That's a lot farther north, but from everything I've heard, it's the new up and coming neighborhood for expats. So you're going to see a lot of backpackers, a lot of digital nomads there. It's probably going to be a little younger area, probably end up being a little more expensive, if not right now, then later on. But I haven't been there yet. I haven't been walking through there or anything. I've been by there. But it is a little farther north. I want to say it's about 3 or 4 stops past Victory Monument. Let me check to make sure on the map here. So I'm looking at the BTS. It's quite a ways north. I went too far. All right, let me keep looking here. Hang on. Nope, I went too far. Okay. All right, there's Victory Monument. Check. Let me do the right thing and just punch in RE BTS station. That would be a lot faster. All right, there's RE. Yeah, it's 2 stops north of the Victory Monument BTS station. And Victory Monument, just to give you an idea, 2, 3. Victory Monument is 4 stops far past the Siam BTS, and that would make it 7 stops from Nana. So So you're talking about 11 stops past Nana. So it's a ways, but like I said, it's supposedly one of those up and coming neighborhoods. Um, so yeah, maybe I'll go do a video walkthrough there. Have you stayed in Cambodia much, or are you super familiar with how things work there? I have not stayed in Cambodia. I do know I did a video and I posted it on my membership page. And by the way, if you want to become a member, it's only 99 cents a month. I'll even put the banner up there so you can see. Um, but I have not been to Cambodia yet. But I did a video on all the tourist visas and what the requirements are and how long you can stay and if you can extend. I did that for all the countries around here. So it'll post public tomorrow morning, but right now it's in the members only section. But I have a friend that wants to go there. I was going to go earlier this year, but then with the issues they were having with Thailand, the government, the military, I decided to put a hold on it. So I probably won't do it this year. Maybe the end of 2026, I might go there, but I don't know much about it. When we are out eating in Bangkok, we order around just before 2 p.m. mark. Sounds like they are going to pull drinks. Yeah, it's stupid crazy. I don't know why they're doing it, but oh well. And they're still talking about dropping the visa-free entry from 60 to 30 days again. So they're talking about that again. So I think everything they talk about just is detrimental to tourism. And I think that's going to hurt their numbers when they're trying to get their numbers back up. My understanding is 2 to 5 alcohol sale restrictions is so that high school kids don't buy alcohol after school. It may have been a problem in past, but I don't know. Yeah, well, don't sell it. That would be the obvious answer. Don't sell alcohol to kids. Have you heard anything about Da Nang with the typhoon situation? I heard the one that went through was pretty devastating, especially in Hoi An, which is about 40 minutes from Da Nang. I guess there was some record flooding going on there. So I don't know about Da Nang specifically. You don't bring dates back to your place, do you? Seems unwise. Nothing like crapping in your own backyard. No, I have not brought anybody back here yet. Hey, Russ. Hey, JJ, are you happy so far with your decision to make Bangkok your home base? Yes, absolutely happy. Been here 1 year. I will do it once I get all settled in here. I'll do a 1 year anniversary video and kind of summarize how things have gone. If they're everything I expected, if there are some some surprising things I wasn't expecting, but I'll do a 1 year review of living here. But yeah, I love it so far. So far, so good. Are the sidewalks still terrible between BTS and your place, K Village? Well, K Village is on 26, I believe. But the sidewalks here, where I'm at on 24, are fine. They're mostly they're pretty wide. There are a couple that are a little more narrow, but they're very walkable. So I don't have any problems. Tulsa back in, okay. So you're still in Tulsa, but you're back in the Philippines, November 25th. That should be perfect. The weather should be through with all the typhoon season by then, and it'll be nice and cool. You can celebrate Christmas there, which is awesome. You Are Right is just north of Victory Monument. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. A lot gets talked about in the press and expat forums. It will probably deter some visitors. Don't believe anything until it is passed and published in the Royal Gazette. Well, if you're talking about the alcohol thing, from what I heard, it was supposed to take effect yesterday. So I don't know. Well, next time I go out, I hit a bar about once a week. Next time I go to a bar, I'll ask. But sometimes it's nice when I get out of class at 3 o'clock or 3:15, and I get back to Prom Pong around 3:30, 3:45. Sometimes it's nice to duck into one of my favorite bars, Laughing Tiger or Shays or somewhere, and have a pint before I go home. But I don't know. We'll find out. I don't understand the problem with bringing a date back to the condo. is it unwise for some reason? Well, yes and no. I mean, it would. I wouldn't bring somebody like if you pick up a freelancer on the street and you bring her back and she spends the night. I wouldn't fall asleep with somebody you met that night in your and to stay in your condo overnight. Now, if you're dating somebody, to me, it's like if you're dating somebody and you're basically you know each other and you've been dating for a while, I don't see a problem with bringing somebody back to spend the night with you. That's to me, that's not a problem. But some people. Let me shut this shade a little bit. It's getting a little bright outside. There. That's what I love about this. But I don't see a problem with that. If you've been dating, you know her. So, hey, Rick, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you, buddy. That's great. So check out that video when we get done here. If you've ever had a stalker, you will. See, I'm not worried about that because it is so secure where I'm at. You have to get in the door to the elevator. It's facial recognition. You got to have a key card to get anywhere on any floor in the elevator. And then of course my door is locked if they get that far, which they won't. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. That's not an issue for me. Yeah, that's why I like condo life. Condo life because you've got all the great amenities. I got a great facility, so I don't have to get a gym membership. I've got a fantastic pool if I want to take a dip in the pool. Got a great co-working space area here. And then most condos are like that here in Bangkok and even in Southeast Asia, even in the Philippines, in the larger cities are like that. And then it's secure. You got security everywhere. So I know I never have a problem with that. Hey, Dave. Hey, good morning. How are things in Florida? Glad you can join up. Let's see, where are we at here? So we're all caught up with chat. We talked about the groceries. We can talk a little bit about my new condo. Like I said, I'll do once I get everything unpacked and situated the right way. We can talk about that. If you want, I can give you a little bit of a tour. Let me see if my mic will. I don't know, my mic will travel, so you might not be able to hear me. But I'll do a. Hang on a second. I'll show you a little bit. I got a little bit of a cord. So, all right. So there's my kitchen. This is my kitchen, and that's the front door here, right there. So I got a nice kitchen. The refrigerator is kind of small, but like I said, I don't buy a lot of groceries, so I don't need that. But it's got a hot plate right there, which I've used for the first time ever using a hot plate. It was interesting because one of my fry pan, it isn't compatible with that, so it doesn't work. If the plate or the pot you use on your fry pan, on your hot plate, if it's not compatible, the plate won't turn on. It won't heat. So I got a frying pan that I won't be able to use, but I was able to use a couple others. So I've got that. I got a microwave. There's my washing machine right down there. Sink, obviously. Lots of cabinet space. And then over here, I don't know if you can see. So this is my living area. I've got a couch over here, floor to ceiling windows, which are really nice. And then there's my TV and space here, which is really nice too. I got some lamps. I got a stand right over here that you won't be able to see. But let's see if I can get over here. Yeah, there's some windows there. But anyway, and then my bedroom, you won't be able to see my bedroom. But I'll do a tour. I'll do a video on all that. With the bedroom and the bath. I love the bath. Come here, little guy. Get rid of the tracking. There we go. Anyway, so what do you guys think? I had a stalker in the Philippines. The first girl I ever dated when I got to the Philippines, first girl I dated steady, she was 40 years old, and I found out that she was married, and uh, and she was a little bipolar. She was a little so I broke it up with her, and she started stalking me. I would go to bed at night, and she would keep messaging me on WhatsApp, and so I ended up having to block her. But then she'd get another SIM card and start messaging me again. She did that like 6 or 8 times before she finally stopped. But there was one night I went to bed. I woke up the next day, and there were 75 messages from her just from overnight. And they were so bipolar. One of them was, I hate you. I hope you die, blah, blah, blah. And the next one was, oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I want you back, blah, blah, blah. It was so Jekyll and Hyde. It was so Jekyll and Hyde. It was crazy. Anyway, so she would stalk me. She knew where I hung out with my buddies. And there was one night when she followed me home, and she was hanging on my arm, and I was trying to push her away, and she followed me all the way home. Thankfully, the guards were aware of it in my condo, so they wouldn't let her in. Yeah, it was crazy, but yeah, you have that. But yeah, that was my stalker experience. It was like Play Misty for me. Remember that movie from the '60s with Clint Eastwood? Um, that was it. That was my stalker experience. Are you within walking distance of any malls? Bangkok has some incredible malls. I would have to say world class, especially compared to the U.S. Yeah, I'm 8 minutes to Emporium Mall, which is one of the three M malls. You got Emporium, and then M Sphere, and then M Quartier. So when I walk to the BTS, when I walk to Sukhumvit, a block before I get to Sukhumvit, that's the entrance to Emporium Mall. So I just walk in there, I go up the escalator to the second floor, and then I can walk out there, and I'm on that whole walkway above or at the BTS, where I can walk down to M Sphere, or I can walk across to M Quartier Mall. So yeah, super convenient. And then I take one train stop to Asok, and I'm at Terminal 21. So yeah, there's tons of malls right where I'm at. So yeah, super easy, super convenient. Were you a mall rat in the U.S., or is visiting malls a Thailand phenomenon for you? Well, the malls in the U.S. they don't really exist anymore, do they? I remember when I was a kid, high school or whatever, we used to hang out in the mall, but malls got overrun by gangs. So now it became, I think in the U.S. last I remember, it was more of those outdoor type malls. That's kind of what the new thing was in the U.S. Here in Southeast Asia, malls are huge. They love malls here because, one, they're air conditioned, so people get out of the heat to go in the mall. In the Philippines, it's like that. You see thousands of people in the mall, but nobody's buying anything. I don't know how these stores stay open, but in here too, malls are fantastic. They're huge. They're modern. It seems like every year Bangkok's got a new mall going up. So yeah, malls are pretty neat. But I don't do a lot of shopping in the malls because those are mostly high end. Now I will go to a couple of malls. There's a couple of malls. One is MBK, which is up by just past the Siam BTS, and then one is across from Central Rama 9 Mall, which is on Rama 9 off the MRT there, and it's right across the street from that mall. It's called Fortune Town Mall. Those two malls have a lot of tech stores and discount stores, so I go there if I need some tech stuff. So I went there the other day looking for some adapters. But yeah, so I'll go to those type of malls. There's a Platinum Mall down by Ratchaturi, just off the Ratchaturi station, and they've got discount booths there, so I can buy some cheap shirts. They're probably knockoff brands, but I can buy some cheap shirts and shorts and shoes and that sort of thing if I want to get some tennis shoes. So yeah, that's the malls I go to. I don't go to the high-end malls. I'll walk through them because they're kind of neat. Some of the restaurants in those malls, like the restaurant I ate at that I was talking about that had the really nice, really good mushroom soup, that was in Central World, which is right between Chitlom and Siam BTS stations. Um, but then I'll go there to go to the restaurants, like the Emsphere Mall down here in Prompong. They've got some nice restaurants and coffee shops on the first floor of the mall there. So yeah, that's what I'll do at those malls. But I don't shop for clothes or anything there. There is a IKEA in the Emsphere Mall that I will go to. I need to buy a couple of things there. I need to buy a patio set for my balcony, chair and tables, or two chairs and a table. I need to get some throw pillows for my couch, and just make it a little more homey. MBK, great for knockoffs. Absolutely. Yeah, I love MBK. I don't mind getting the knockoff brands. They may not last quite as long, but it gives me a reason to buy a new wardrobe every year or two. This shirt here, this Nebraska shirt, this shirt is probably 10 years old. I mean, it's good quality, but I only wear it on game day, so I'll probably regret it. It's always been bad luck. Every time I've worn it, we've lost. But so we got a game coming up in about an hour and a half. So we won't be going much more than 2 hours today, guys. So just so you know. Let's see what else going on, guys. I'm all caught up on chat. Let's see. So my neighborhood here, it's right across from, what's the name of that place? There's a hotel complex right across the street from where I'm at. And let me see if I can figure it out before you guys tell me on chat. It's called, oh, it's not showing. Where is it? What's the name of this place? Maybe you guys can help me out. Okay, there we go. Oh, the Davis Hotel. Davis. So there's this place called the Davis. It's like a hotel, I think. But it's really neat. And they've got some little higher end restaurants and clubs in that area. They got a place called Hanbo 24, Dr. Fetch, Upper House. They got a little smoothie store there. They got some neat clubs there that I have to check out. I want to check out. But it won't be something I will go there on a regular basis because it is a little more expensive than if I were down at my hangouts at O'Shea's and that. But I will check it out. But it's pretty neat. And I'm almost halfway between Sukhumvit and Rama 4. So I walked up to Rama 4. There's not really that much on Rama 4 that I saw other than a couple of grocery stores. Most of the stuff was right where I'm at now. Now there's a neat coffee shop right across the street from where I'm at that I'll go to every once in a while if I don't want my coffee, my instant coffee here. I need to get a coffee maker or a French press machine so I can make coffee here, a little better coffee. Hey, Edwin. Hi from KCMO. How's things there in Kansas City, Missouri? Edwin, thanks for coming on today. How will you utilize the park close to you? Will you go there to it often? Is there things to do there? I saw chess tables at the park in Peru. Does BKK do that? I haven't seen any chess tables. Now there are. I'm close to two parks. If I just walk down to Sukhumvit, there's a Benjasiri Park, which is a smaller park, but it's got some outdoor workout stations. You can walk around there. And then if I just go directly down this street here, I'll hit Benjakiti Park, which is the big park that I've done videos in with a big lake that I can walk around. And so I'll go down there and I'll start doing my walks either in the morning or evening when it's cooler. I'll start doing that on a daily basis. Once I get all settled in here, I have to figure out a routine. Do I want to do my workout up at the gym where I'm at in the morning and then do my walking in the evening, or vice versa? So I'll figure out a routine. But yeah, I'm close. I'm really close to those parks. So about 10, 15-minute walk to each. Are you still getting your walk in? I'm still at 4 miles a day, but winter is knocking 37 is the high tomorrow with a low 24. Yeah, when I lived in Indianapolis, or I lived in Carmel, I was really close. If you guys are familiar with Indianapolis area, there's a walk area called the Monon Trail, and it's a really long area to walk. I mean, it goes from the northern part of Indianapolis all the way down to Westfield, which is like the last suburb of Indianapolis. But I used to walk that when I lived in Carmel. I lived in this little apartment area, which was a block from the Monon. So I'd walk that and at night, I mean, I'm sorry, in the winter it got cold. So this was during COVID. So I'd wear my mask. I had my mask, and that would help, because if I didn't wear my mask, it would really affect my breathing. I'm susceptible to bronchitis. So the cold air would really affect my breathing. So wearing those masks, that was the only good thing about COVID, was wearing the mask in the winter when I walked. But it was fun walking in the crisp air. I walked at a pretty good clip. So UCLA 555. Come on, Steve. You're like, I'm a college fan of whoever's playing Nebraska, right? That's who you root for. Have you met a lot of quality women in Bangkok? Yeah, I have actually. I've met a lot of quality women. There are a lot of beautiful women in Bangkok. I mean, I won't lie to you. They're extremely beautiful. Hang on a second, guys. I'm going to crank up the AC a little bit. It's getting a little warm in here. Sorry about that. I don't want to be sweating bullets while I'm on my live stream. But I mean, it's nice in here, but when I get around, I guess maybe my computer lets out a lot of heat or something. Maybe, I don't know. Seems to get warmer when I'm at my computer. But I just turned on the AC, so it should be fine. Yeah, the women are nice in Bangkok. Too much silicone, though. I haven't really noticed. I mean, there are some. I've noticed some women. Most of the women that with the boob jobs are with expats with farang, because that's what they like. I got friends that they pay to have their girl get a boob job. I don't get it. I like the natural look. You will see the lady boys. A lot of the lady boys have a lot of surgery. I mean, they got the fake lips. They got the whatever they got going on with their face. They got the boob jobs. They probably got other things taken care of too, because there are a lot of, from what I understand, a lot of post-op here, because surgery is fairly inexpensive. But I don't see a lot of that. I see where I'm at least, I see a lot of normal looking Thai women. So that's always a good thing. Have you dated women while you lived in Bangkok? I did. Nothing serious. But I have a couple of friends, I call them friends, that will go out and just hang out, but it's pretty platonic with these girls, these women. But I haven't really, when I was living in Samut Prakan, it's hard to date when you live down there, because you don't meet a lot of women in Samut Prakan that speak English. But in this area, they do. You can find some women that speak English. So now I'm here. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I have dated gone out, had drinks and that sort of thing, but nothing to write home about yet. So I'm asthmatic, so thanks for the mask tip. I will try it tomorrow when I do my power walking. Yeah, I mean, check it out, see if it helps, or just get a scarf or whatever, or one of those. What do they call those things? Those hoodie things that you pull over that's got the mask and the eyes are open. They have a name for it. You can use, or those sleeves that they have around here for bike riders. If you ride your motorcycle, they got sleeves that pull over that covers your nose and your face, your nose and your mouth. Steve says, "Thanks for the live. Go Big Red. Enjoy the game." Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, or a ski mask. Yeah, exactly. But they've got the ones that aren't wool, aren't super heavy material. They're more of a like a nylon material. They've got those sleeves here. I can't think. They have a specific name for them, but I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, so let's see. It's been on about an hour and 15 minutes. We'll go to the top of the hour and see how we're doing. We got 27 people on right now, so that's good. That's awesome. That's a good average for me, so I'm happy. Enjoy my morning coffee in my new condo. I like the decorations, the wall decorations. We got this photo here, which is pretty cool. I got one around the corner here, one in my bedroom also. So it's neat. I got one wall. I think there's one wall that's blank that I want to find something to put on there. So I may go down to Chattahoochee Market this weekend or next weekend. And if I don't go today, I'll go next weekend and find some art. I'll buy some art to hang up on that wall. So I've got that too. So it seems like Bangkok is nice, but it's just hard for mediocre guys like me to get any romance there. I wouldn't say that, Dave. I'm mediocre. I think there's an attraction for Thai women to date the Farang. I would say maybe 25% of Thai women prefer to date a foreign guy like me, a white guy, Farang they call them, light skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, red hair in my case, tall. I think probably 20 or 25% of Thai women would prefer that. Now, you're not going to be able to do like you do in the Philippines, date a really young Thai girl if you're older. But if you're looking at your picture on your profile, you look like you're still pretty young, unless that's an old picture. So if you're under 50, you can date girls in their 20s, mid to late 20s, or on up. Depends what you're. I don't think you'll have any problem, Dave. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Baklava. Yeah, okay. Baklava. Baklava sounds too much like a bakla, which in the Philippines is ladyboy. Any trips planned within Thailand? Yeah, I want to go down to. So the places I've been already, I want to go back to. I want to go down to Hua Hin. I want to take my golf clubs down there and do a golf weekend down there. I want to go back to Pattaya when I got some buddies that are coming up to visit that haven't been there yet, so I'll take them there. Back up to Chiang Mai, but that'll probably be next spring after the burning season's over. Places I have not been yet that I want to go: Phuket and Koh Samui, to name a couple, and then maybe like places like Phi Phi or I can't think off the top of my head, but places like that I haven't been, I want to check out. Maybe go up north to Chiang Rai and check that out. But yeah, I definitely will. While I'm on my education visa, it's easier to travel within the country. I could travel out of the country, but I have to do a re-entry. I have to pay for a re-entry fee so I can keep my education visa when I get back. So I probably won't do any traveling outside of the country unless yeah, it'd be very, very rare if I do that. But I will definitely travel around the country because I can take off from Friday afternoon and won't need to be back in school till Tuesday. So basically, it's a 3-night weekend. I can take Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Well, actually, 4 nights if I want, if I'm not too far away, just so I'm back in time for my Tuesday afternoon class. So I can do a lot of trips around uh, Thailand, which I plan on. Notre Dame just kicked off, but cannot watch it. Um, 12:30 in the morning here now, so I will say good night, guys. Take care, everyone. All right, buddy, take care. Have a good night. We'll talk to you again soon. You're 37. Oh, you won't have any problems, Dave. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, 37. I wish I was 37. I wish I'd come to Southeast Asia when I was a lot younger. Hey, what's up, buddy? Said politely, Geo on the go is steering me away from Thailand. Really? Why is that? Kiki and Jasmine just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Kiki. Nice parting gift for you from you. Appreciate that. I got 5 on it. Oh, I see. Okay. $5. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for the. He usually does that every weekend. That's pretty awesome of him to gift 5 memberships. Except for the one time he did, sick grandpa got a membership. So that should be expiring soon. So I guess he did a video on me one day, and he took it down right away for some reason. I don't know why. So see, JJ, what if in your 60s, how young a girl can you date over there? If you're in your 60s, I would say if you're talking transactional, you can date any age. But if you're talking serious relationship, serious dating, I would say if you're in your 60s, probably a 25-year gap. So if you're 60, maybe 35, I would say that's probably reasonable. Maybe as far down to 30, but probably not as prevalent. But I think a 25-year age gap would be doable here in Thailand. I've heard a few say Koh Samui is really nice and more laid back. That's what I heard too. So I want to definitely check that out. There's a YouTuber that used to live in Bangkok, and he's been here for several years. He's from Canada, retired working for you. I think he lives in Koh Samui now. So I think he moved there about a year ago. Best of luck to the Huskers tonight. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I am not dissing Geo on the go at all. It seems the prices are too high, but budget travel, which is what I want to do. Yes, it can be in Bangkok, but you can go to like Hua Hin, which is a beach city. It's very laid back. It's a little older crowd, and you can live there fairly inexpensive. So, and you can find inexpensive places to live and eat here in Bangkok too. So I wouldn't completely rule it out. Check it out and see what you find. It's always better to get boots on the ground. Don't go completely by what we YouTubers tell you, because we're living off our experience and not necessarily what somebody else might be living off of. So the trope is half your age plus 7. Does that sound right for Thailand? Half your age plus 7. So if you're 60, I've heard that too, but I don't know who came up with that. That's what I'd like to know. So half your age plus 7. So if you're 60, that's 37 years old. Yeah, that's about right. 25 years. So you could probably go a little younger than that, but the choices will be there'll be less to choose from. Vitali. How's prison over there, buddy? You get that soap on a rope I sent you? For budget travelers, there are loads of hostels in Bangkok and elsewhere. Yeah, absolutely. Hostels, I'm not a big, I would never live in a hostel or I'd never stay in a hostel. There's no way. Um, but you can probably find, like, when I lived on the south end of Bangkok in Samut Prakan, my condo was only 12,500 a month. So that's 360 $370 a month. So, and the utilities were only about $30 $40 a month. So you can live cheap, and you can eat cheap too. There's street vendors everywhere, so you can find really inexpensive food. So I would come out here, stay for a few weeks, see how you like it. um, check Hua Hin out. That's probably a cheaper location. Even Pattaya is cheap, but you're surrounded by that adult entertainment area. So if that's not your thing, your age time divided by 2 plus 9. Okay, so that would be 35. So yeah, if you're 60, date a 35-year-old, definitely doable here. The girl I dated steady in the Philippines was 35 when we first started dating. So that was, let's see, that was a 30-year age gap for us. Um, in 8 years of living in Thailand, I've known many married Thai Western couples, and age gaps are from 10 to 25, very common. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anywhere from 10 to 20, 25 years. I would say 25 is probably the average maximum, I guess you could say. Anything above that age gap is probably, you're going to have a harder time finding something. That's if you're 52. Okay, so 52 divided by 2 plus 9, that's 35. Yeah. So I don't go by that formula. I've heard it before. I've heard that a lot, especially in the West. They say that a lot, but I don't think that applies so much here in Southeast Asia. I've got friends. I've got two friends. One's close to 60 and one's my age, in their 60s, and they're both dating girls in their early 20s, 22, 23 years old, and they've been dating them for a couple of years now. So, yeah, so everything's acceptable. In fact, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was out yesterday. I met a subscriber. We played some pool down at Hustlers, but it was either yesterday or the day before. I was hanging out with a buddy, and I was just watching people walk by, and I know it was Friday night. It was Friday night, yeah. Friday night, I was down on Sukhumvit 11 at Hillary 11, and I was sitting outside listening to the music, sitting outside having a beer, watching people walk by, and there were a lot, and I'm talking about the majority of older Farang expats walking by with young girls. Now, most of them looked like transactional, like they were probably freelancers that they paid for the night. But there were a lot of them that these guys were well into their 60s, maybe even close to 70, and they were with girls that were probably between 25 and 30 years old, maybe between 25 and 35. But they looked like they were a couple. They didn't look like they were a pay for play one night thing. I saw a couple of young guys, and they were tourist type. They were with young girls, but you can tell they were pay for play. They were holiday girlfriends. So I'm thinking I'm seeing more of that age gap relationships going on here in Bangkok and in Thailand, kind of like I used to see in the Philippines a lot. So maybe things are changing. Maybe the trend is changing to a larger age gap. I don't know. I'll keep tabs on it for you guys and let you know if you're interested in that thing. Anything over 25 is acceptable. Yeah, I agree. It seems like if they're under 25, they're just not 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 emotionally or mentally matured to have a decent conversation with you, and you have nothing in common. So, at least for me, other than the physical attraction. I'm looking right now at hotels in BKK for next week, and some hotel prices really went up, especially the ones near Nana and Asok. However, I keep digging and still some fair deals out there. I would not stay in Nana or Asok unless you're looking for that adult entertainment. But I would look either I would look farther north. So Prampong, Tonglo, Ekamai, Prokanon, those places. I would look in those areas. You'll probably find hotels that are cheaper in those areas that are close to that BTS, and then just hop on the BTS and go down to Asok and Nana if you want to go there to those places. You're gonna save a lot more money, and you'll probably be a little more happier because you'll be able to be in a more quiet area and able to sleep at night. The guy on the budget could date an older Thai, and instead of her sending money to her parents, she would be getting sent money by her kids. Yeah, that's probably true. Most of the Thai women I've met work. They have careers, so they make their own money. So, like the girl I dated in the Philippines, she worked. She made her own money. So all the money she made, she used that to send home to her family. So I never had to deal with that. So that's the best. To me, that's the best case scenario is find a girl who works and let her money pay for her family. Then you can pay for the rental and the groceries and going out and that sort of thing. You can do that. I found Geo on the Go video useful. I learned not to get stuck spending $25 on a dinner in Bangkok. Yeah. It can be pretty high, but I think the most I've ever spent. I think when he and I went to that mall and had that pasta dinner, I think that was the most I've ever spent for a dinner in Bangkok, and it was like $20. But generally, my meals are like $10 to $12 if I get the Western style meals, and then if I do the street vendors, it's like under $2. So it makes up for it. Once in a while, I like to splurge, though. I deserve it. I see a hostel in W District that is 500 or 700 baht, depending on the booking website. I figure they are only going to dump me anyway, like every other I've been with. So why not go for the big age gap? Yeah, why not? I'm single, so obviously every girl I've dated has either dumped me or I've dumped them. So um, nothing lasts forever, I guess. But why not, right? Why not go for the biggie? Shoot for the fences, hit that home run. All right, one cup down onto my next one, which will probably be cold. That's why I need to get a Yeti or something along those lines. I can keep my coffee warm when I do these lives. What else is on your mind, guys? We're talking about dating. You want to talk more about dating? Hey, we're up to 30 on the live stream. That's awesome. Let's see. Talked about cost of living. My cost of living basically doubled when I moved from my old condo to here. The rent is double. I paid 12,500 baht a month, which is about $370, something like that. Now I pay 25,000. They were asking 30, but we negotiated down to 25,000 baht, which is about $750 a month, which is good, I think, for my location, for what I get. It's 42 square meters. It's good, decent size. I really like everything about this place. I love the hardwood floors. I love the blinds. I love the balcony. It's got a decent size balcony, so I can get a table and chairs out there. So I can sit out there and have my morning coffee. It's got a great view. It's got great amenities. The bed is comfy. It's firm, but I'm getting used to firm mattresses here in Southeast Asia. You don't see a lot of real soft mattresses in Southeast Asia. It just doesn't happen. Now, if I want, I can get a one of those memory foam toppers at IKEA or somewhere. I'll probably do that if I want. But so far, I'm comfy with, the pillows are the biggest thing. If the pillows aren't comfy, then I'm miserable sleeping at night. But it's kind of nice. It's queen size bed, so it's not a king size, but it's got a lot of room, so I can walk around my bed. Whereas my last condo, it was tight fit to walk between my bed and the windows. It was a really tight fit, only about this far. So it was hard for my fat ass to get through. Oh, I turned on my tracking again. Come on, buddy, shut down. There you go. Um, but here I got a lot of room, and my bathroom's big. Yeah, I love it. So, if dating in the Philippines is a 10 out of 10, what's the rating for dating in Bangkok? Um, so, for me, when I dated in the Philippines, it was pretty off the chain. It's pretty amazing. I will say that I had a lot of fun. But at the time when I was dating around and wasn't dating serious, I was making really good U.S. money. So I was basically a two percenter living there in Metro Manila. So I was living like that. So, um, but equate that to retirement money and kind of settling down into a budget, not going out to the clubs every night, that sort of thing. It's a little different, but I would say, other than the large dating gap option in the Philippines, I would say it's probably very similar here in Bangkok. I don't think there's an issue. I think the women are, for the most part, the women in Bangkok are more beautiful. Now, nothing against Philippine women, please. I'm not all the women I've known or dated have been smart and really nice women, other than the stalker I had when I first dated. But she was smart, but she was just a stalker. So, but other than that, the girls I did in the Philippines were smart and very beautiful. But I would say, on general terms, Thai women are a little more smarter. They're a little more savvy as far as money budgets. Although I read the other day that Thailand, they're the people that are in debt it's a huge problem, huge issue with being in debt in Thailand. So that could be a problem. But most of the women I've met here are career women. They have good jobs, so you don't see a lot of that. But other than the age gap thing, I think it's probably equivalent dating in Bangkok as it is dating in the Philippines. I would say it's probably pretty even. Talk about banking. What about banking you want me to talk about? Expat related topic. I heard that Paraguay has 2 years no visa or something cool like that for expats. Can anyone confirm that? The only I think the only time I've ever heard the term the country Paraguay was when I was in like fifth grade studying geography. I don't think I've ever heard. I probably couldn't find it on a map if I tried. Dave Travel, I guess a 6 out of 10. Let's see what JJ says. I disagree. I think it's right there with it. Maybe because of the age gap difference, maybe an 8 out of 10. But that's just because of the age gap. How much did you spend a month using the BTS living in your old place? I was thinking about looking into En Nut for cost, but concerned about it being too far out. So all right. So my stop was the Samrong BTS. And then I had to take one stop on the MRT yellow line to get to my condo. So it was 20 baht going from my condo to the Samrong BTS, which is the Sukhumvit line, the dark green line. So that's 20 baht. And then it was like 60 baht to get to Asok, 62 baht. So we're talking 82 baht. And then I had to take the Asok MRT, 2 stops to the Rama 9 to go to school. That was another 20 baht. So we're talking basically 100 baht one way, and so 200 baht round trip. That was 4 days a week, and then if I went out on those days, it would be close to 100 baht, depending on where I went. So we're talking about $6 a day. So that's about $180 a month. Is that right? Does that sound right? $6 a day times 30. 6 times 10 is 600. 6 times 10 is 60 times 3 for, yeah, $180. So it added up. And so I'm saving a lot. So I walk to the BTS. It's 20 baht basically to get to Asok and 20 baht to get to Rama 9 now. So I'm spending instead of what was it, 200 baht a day, I'm spending like 80 baht a day. So less than half. So it's I'm saving a lot of money, in other words. So. Come seriously, do you really think $750 a month affordable for most of us? Really give your entitled head a shake? I mean, how much? I mean, that's say okay. Say you make 1,700 a month in Social Security. Just use that as an example. I think that's the average. So say 1,750. Let's round it up, and you pay $750 a month for your rent. That's still, you've got $1,000 for everything else. $1,000 a month for everything else. You pay $20 a month for your Wi-Fi and your phone. Your food. If you eat frugally, eat street food, go to the cheap places, you can do it. I don't see why you can't live okay for now. Now you can find cheaper places, cheaper condos. I'm not trying to act like I'm entitled, and don't ever accuse me of being entitled, please. But you can live in, like before, I was living at a place that was $370 a month. So you can do that and you can live a comfortable life. I just decided that I wanted to spend a little more money and be in a nice place. Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Edwin. Age gap equals -2. In slow moving relationships, -2 more. No offense to the land of smiles. So you're saying instead of a 10 out of 10, it's a 6 out of 10? I don't think it's slow moving relationships. I don't think it is. I've been with girls here that want to move into a relationship a lot faster than me. I think the whole key is they want to make sure that you are living here. That's the entire key. That's what they're looking for. They want to make sure you live here, not just visiting. They're more than happy to move into a relationship. JJ, what do you recommend for health insurance over there? Right now I use just travel insurance, and you can go to a couple places. You can go to Safety Wing or Seven Corners, use what you want. But you can get health insurance, just the normal type of health insurance if you want to do that too. They've got that available. But what I do personally is anything minor, I pay out of pocket, and my health insurance for major medical expenses. What is a good budget to not worry about money, but not be a baller or crazy person at bars with women? I would say between 17 and 2,000, or maybe 1,700 and 2,200 US dollars a month you can live comfortably there, as long as you're not like overdoing it and hitting the rooftop bars and hitting the clubs every other night. That allows you to go out, a couple of times a month maybe, and spend a few more dollars. But I would say that would be a good number. Does healthcare cost less than 10% of what it costs back home? Someone chatted $92 for doctor visit, x-ray, and meds. Same thing with a nurse or not a doctor, can cost up to $1,000. So I don't know what the costs are here in Thailand and Bangkok. I've heard that for certain procedures it's super cheap, but for major medical stuff, it can get pretty expensive too. Now, when I broke my fingers, these fingers, when I broke my fingers in the Philippines, I went and the whole thing cost from initial X-rays to consultation to going to the orthopedic surgeon to getting the cast put on and all that. That whole operation, that whole thing cost me about 170 US dollars. So really cheap compared to anywhere else. Now, whether they did an okay job or not, that's another issue. but um, but I pay that out of pocket, so you can do those things. So, but I don't know about Bangkok, so I've never had an issue to go to a doctor or anything in Bangkok. But I've heard most normal procedures are pretty inexpensive, just to go to the hospitals. They have public and private hospitals. The public ones are a little less expensive than the private ones. But somebody like Marty, if you're still on, you can probably answer that question better than me. Because you've lived here longer, so you've probably been through a lot of different procedures than I have in the short time I've been here. The 1 year, which I'll do a 1 year anniversary video and let you guys know how I feel about living here in Thailand after 1 year being here, after being in the Philippines for 3 years. So, all right, all caught up on chat. Let's see, we'll go another 12, 13 minutes to the top of the hour, or to 8:15. That'll give us a full 2 hours, as long as people are still on. I need to get off here and find the Nebraska game on YouTube. Last week, I had an issue trying to find the USC game because I just do it on my YouTube and I try to find the streams that basically they're illegal streams. And I've had great luck since I've been to Thailand until last week with the USC Nebraska game. And then they kept getting blocked, where they'd have a big block screen in front of it, so you couldn't really see the screen. So we'll see if I can find something online. I don't want to pay for any services. I need to. My TV back here isn't a smart TV; it's an older one. So I need to go. I ordered a Fire Stick, an Amazon Fire Stick on Lazada yesterday. So I should get that next week, so I can. But right now, I just watch right on here on my screen here on my computer. Do another walking video of the area now that you are in your new place. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I will. I'll do that. Maybe I'll combine the walking with my 1 year anniversary video. Maybe I'll do that all in one, or maybe I'll split them up into two. I heard broken fingers never regain 100%. Well, so the orthopedic surgeon told me I can either just get a cast or a splint and wear that for however long, 6 weeks or whatever it was, 8 weeks. Or I can have operation and have metal plates or whatever, metal pins put in my fingers. And that was pretty expensive. I think what did he quote me? It was in the thousands of US dollars. So it was fairly expensive. So I got the cast and the splint, and he says, if you go that route, you'll never get full motion back to your fingers. And right now I don't. That's the farthest I can close like this one I can close tight like this. This one it just won't go. It's getting better though. It's like every week or so I have a little more movement, and it doesn't hurt as much anymore as it used to. So yeah, I mean, I'll get over it. I mean, I'm 67 years old, so I figured if it's the worst, That's happened to me in the first 67 years of my life. I think I'm doing pretty well. Steve says, I had the nurse, a very pretty woman, see me walking to the doctor's office, and she stopped and insisted I ride there on the back of her motorbike with her. Thai medical service is the best. Awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Did you get her number? That's the question. Wowee. Yeah. Yeah, Steve. Did you get her phone number? Did you get her line? Which, by the way, guys, line is that's the app to get. They do have WhatsApp here, but most Thai women use line. Most Thai businesses use line. So you're going to need to get that line to communicate to your condo, your condo unit, your agent who you work with, your rental agent, your phone company, your Wi-Fi company, all that. You're going to need line. That's what they use. Thanks for responding to my comment, and thanks for your Bangkok content. Much appreciated. Hopefully you understand I am avoiding that for now. Yeah, I get you, Tom. Yeah, no problem. It just depends. Everybody has a budget. Everybody has expenses. My budget or my monthly expenses are below what my monthly income is. And as long as what do they used to say in the US as far as your ratio of paying your mortgage or your rent compared to what your income is? Somebody help me on that. Is it was it 1/3? How was that calculated? I know there's a formula. They say if you can keep your rental or your mortgage under 1/3, maybe it's 1/2 of your monthly income, then that's what you shoot for. But somebody can help me on that. I can't remember what that formula was. I'm sure somebody on chat knows. I've been reading that they won't give you a visa without health insurance. Depending on the visa. If you do the retirement visa, you have to have health insurance. I'm on the education visa. I didn't have to show proof of health insurance. If you come in on your visa-free entry, your tourist visa, you don't need proof of health insurance. But some of the retirement visas, you do. I'm not sure about the DTV. I don't think you need to prove insurance with the DTV, your destination Thai visa. I don't think you do, but I'm not sure because that's still considered a tourist visa. So I don't know how that works. Okay, that makes it better with education. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, my education visa is working great. I just got to go back in a couple of months to extend. And as long as every time you extend, they check your attendance with the school. So as long as your attendance is good, you're still going to class, then they'll extend your visa. Now, at some point, I've heard, I don't know for sure, but at some point I heard that they will talk to you in Thai to try to see if you're learning anything. I'm not sure how far along in the extension process that goes, but we'll see. Hang on a second, guys. Check out my remote here. Just a second. There we go. I was wondering why I didn't have it turned on. I had the temperature set right, but I didn't have it turned on. It's like, why am I still hot? And I couldn't hear because I had my earbuds in, so I couldn't hear if the fan was going. The fan gets really, when it's on high, it's really loud. I'll come in, when I come in the afternoon, I come home and it's hot. It gets warm in here, so I'll turn that AC on. I'll turn it on high for a few minutes until it cools down, and then I'll put it on low so you don't hear. You might be able to hear the if I open the patio door, you can hear the, hang on a second, guys. Let's see if we can get around. So you can hear that. That's the air condition running on my patio. So, but it's very quiet here. I mean, when I shut those patio doors, you don't really hear. You can hear the AC a little bit. You can hear it more in here, but I don't hear a lot of traffic. The only traffic I ever hear is if a siren goes by, like an ambulance or whatever goes by the street down here at night when I'm not watching television. I'll hear that. Once in a while, there'll be a really loud motorcycle, but that doesn't happen very often. Maybe once or twice during the day or at night. So it's really pretty quiet. These they're all double pane glass, so I think there's a little bit of soundproofing, so that's good. So yeah, it's pretty quiet. What about Vietnam education visa? I don't know anything about a Vietnam education visa. I don't know if they offer it. I don't know what the Vietnam education visa is all about. I know you can go in there with an e-visa and you can stay up to 90 days at a time. And then you can just leave and basically turn around and come right back in for another 90 days. They don't care how many times you do that either. Have you heard of Adam Parker? Yeah. Adam is the nephew of, I can't think of what his name is. The guy's channel is called Retired Working for You. He's the guy I said earlier that moved from Bangkok to Koh Samui. But Adam is his nephew. He seems like a pretty good kid. He has a great step list of videos to get started in Bangkok. You should check it out. Yeah, absolutely. Will someone come in and clean your condo? Does your condo offer that? I need to check with the juristic office here. Now, my old place, they did that. They had a service that you just sign up through the condo, through the building. It was 900 baht, and they come in and they do a thorough cleaning. They changed all the sheets because my condo was owned by the building owner. So it was almost like a hotel service. So they come in, they change all the sheets, all the linen, all the towels. They change all that out, and then they clean, sweep, mop, clean off everything, dust and all that. And it was 900 baht each time I did that. And so that was $27. So super cheap. I need to check to see with the juristic office if they have anything like that. I kind of doubt it because my owner is not the owner of the building, so they would not change out the linens or anything. I will have to go have those cleaned. I don't think my washing machine is big enough to put all the maybe the sheets, but not the comforter as far as cleaning. But they probably have a service I can do, and I will do that maybe once or twice a month, have them come in and sweep, mop, dust, all that good stuff. So yeah, I will let you know. 8 videos set, 50 minutes each. Cool. You're a smart guy. You would be a guy to ask. Smart guy. Ask me about living on the cheap here. I can live on the cheap if I wanted to. Got to go. Have a great day. JJ, thanks again for sharing. Hey, Rick, no problem. Thanks for stopping in, and you have a great day or evening too. Canadian kid with detail and super easy to follow. Yeah, he's Canadian, just like his uncle. I met his uncle actually, Chris. Yeah, that's it, Chris Parker. I met him 3 years ago now. This month, I think it was 3 years ago. We were at Lumpini Park, and he was doing a video. Oh, he was with his family. It was during Loy Krathong, and he was with his wife. And I met him briefly, and I just said hi and said who I was, and I said I don't want to bother you. You're doing your family thing. But he seemed like a nice guy for a Canadian. Not just kidding. I have Canadian friends. So anyway, yeah, Chris Parker. He does the Retired Working for You. He has 2 channels, I think. But I think he's in Koh Samui now, if I remember right. And his wife's Korean. Um, she's from, I think she's from Seoul or somewhere in South Korea. So, JJ, I'm not ruling the land of smiles out. Geo on the go has steered me towards the land of better dating. But he hates Philippines, doesn't he? I don't know. Thanks for your content. Hey, Tom, no problem. Thanks for stopping in, by the way. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up too. That helps the algorithm, helps my channel out. And anything I make on my channel, I put right back into it. Like I need a new gimbal for when I go out. The gimbal I have it was a cheap one. It cost me $50. I got it when I first started, and one of the axes is kind of going all wanky on me, so it's not working right. So I need to get a new gimbal. Bought this new phone, but I may get one of those like a DJI type style video recorders down the road, but those are pretty expensive. We're talking $600, $700, $800. So that'll be an expense I'll have to save up for. Now that I'm paying more for my rent, it'll be a little while before I can go that route, but eventually I'll save up enough for that. JJ, before you go, can you tell us why expats are leaving the Philippines so much now, even regular guys leaving? I'll tell you why I left. It just got too small and too much of a hassle. I lived in BGC, which is like as westernized and as modern as you can get in the Philippines. So it was really nice to live there for 3 years. But to get out of that little bubble, I call it, to travel anywhere in Manila or outside of Manila, it was a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. To get a taxi, it's hard to get taxis, and they're always trying to scam you. And even when they don't, it was hard to tell them where you wanted to go unless it was a real obvious landmark, because none of them spoke English. And, shame on me for not learning Tagalog better. But when you live in a bubble that everybody speaks English, except for the cab drivers, you kind of get lazy and you don't really need to use it. So anyway, and it was just a hassle. Grab was hard to find. You'd order a Grab and then they'd cancel on you, so you had to order another one. And it's dirty outside of the BGC bubble. It's sidewalks are unwalkable. Beggars, homeless people, people living on the street. It got to be a lot. It got to be a lot to handle. And then, you talk about the Ring of Fire. So you've got earthquakes happening there all the time. You got the typhoons that hit. They average about 15 to 20 typhoons a year. They got earthquakes that go on daily there, even though they're even small, like 1 or 2 on the scale, but you still got them. And then you got the bigger ones that when they do hit, it's pretty devastating. The infrastructure is bad there. So you don't realize, or at least I don't realize the how inconvenient it was living in the Philippines until you live somewhere else in Southeast Asia and then you go back. So when I moved to Bangkok and I was here from last October, and then I stayed in Da Nang, Vietnam for a few months there too. And then when I went back to the Philippines back last March to get my new passport, I realized how inconvenient everything was in the Philippines. And, you see these YouTubers that are doing these channels in Dumaguete and in the provinces, and they're telling you how great it is, how life in the province is so great. It's not. It's really not. I don't know why they're telling you that. Maybe their life was worse in the States or in the West where they came from. Maybe it was. Or maybe they're just too ashamed to tell you that they screwed up and they're living in these crappy places and they don't like it anymore. But to be honest with you, Philippines has a lot of good things about it. The people are friendly for the most part. There are scammers, but there's scammers everywhere. But to me, it just wasn't worth staying there. And I think a lot of other people are deciding that too. A lot of YouTubers are kind of following my lead. I'm kind of the pioneer. I'm leaving the Philippines and going to Bangkok. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Earthquakes. Philippines is on center of a fault line and getting corrupt, like you're saying. Yeah, and is very corrupt. Yeah. So I've been watching these channels on YouTube talking about um, the the AI Atlas or A3 Atlas or whatever that's called, that comet or whatever it is that's zooming through our solar system. And then they're talking about these solar flares that are happening at huge activity on the sun. That's affecting our Earth. That's why there's so many earthquakes happening. And that fault line, like you say, goes right through Manila, right through the central part of Manila. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you've got earthquakes, you've got typhoons, you got flooding, you got mudslides, you got volcanoes to a lesser extent. But you've got all that happening in what's called the Ring of Fire, and the Philippines is right there. So yeah. uh, we had, you are thinking with, will cost you much more in the long run. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Thank you for the real deal of the Philippines. Yeah. I mean, there's great places there. Don't get me wrong. I like living in BGC. I lived there for almost 3 years. So yeah, it's great. It's just, if you just have to, you have to be able to adjust to everything that happens in the Philippines that could be inconvenient for you. Like, nobody's in a hurry to get anything done in the Philippines. The common phrase you'll hear is, sorry, sir, unavailable. In other words, you go to a restaurant or a store to buy something and they won't have an ingredient, so the whole item is unavailable. So like if you go in and you want a burger, you want a cheeseburger with pickles, and that's on the menu. It's like cheeseburger with pickles or whatever, and they don't have any pickles, so that whole item is off the menu. Well, do you just have a cheeseburger without pickles? Well, yes. Well, why don't you get me that? I mean, I'm using that as an example, but just the common sense is kind of missing a lot there. Just the fact that I think they're an island nation, so it's hard to get imported island items there. I don't know if it's just the fact that they wait till they completely run out before they order again, or they're just not good at planning. It's like, oh, we're running low on this item, so we need to order before it runs out. That's happened. I've seen that happen before at a bar where they're out of San Mig. It's like, how can you be out of your local beer? But it makes you scratch your head. So if you get tired of adjusting to that kind of lifestyle, then maybe the Philippines isn't for you. And I just got kind of tired of it after seeing how things are done in other Southeast Asian countries. If you had a serious Thai girlfriend for several years, are you likely to know her family well, like you would in the USA? Yes, absolutely. You would be invited to meet her family. That would be absolutely what. Philippines is like Cuba on steroids. Probably. Never been to Cuba, but I've seen videos. I can imagine. Yes, husband and wife, a vlogger, have moved 3 times with our family from Dumaguete to Negros Occidental due to various problems. Yeah, I don't understand. I did a video. I don't know if you guys saw the video where I tier ranked all these cities and places I've visited or lived in Asia. And I got Dumaguete at the bottom. I don't know what anybody saw in going to Dumaguete. Philippines is almost a communist country, but nobody wants to admit it. In what way would you say? I'm not disagreeing with you. I think I know what you mean, but in what way do you mean like a communist country. Um, it's very corrupt. I mean, they had all that money they sent up north in northern Luzon to fix the flooding on that river that ran through there. And when the president went up a few months ago to check out the progress of building those flood walls, nothing had been done, and the money was gone. And you see on TikTok and all these, the government officials were pocketing the money because they were buying brand new Land Rovers, brand new Mercedes, and brand new Beamers, and their sons and daughters were driving new Beamers, and so all that money they sent to build those flood walls were spent by the local government there that pocketed the money. So it's very corrupt. Um, do you prefer Thailand over the Philippines? Yes, 100%. Nothing over the Philippines. Nothing about the Philippines. I mean, I love the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. But for me personally, I like Thailand and I like Bangkok. I like the city. So that's my personal preference. But like I said, I lived in BGC for 3 years and I loved it there. I had some great friends there, but they have all moved. I've got one friend that still lives there. Everybody else has moved out of BGC. So I don't have a lot of reasons to go back there, but I will go back. I'll go back there and visit. Maybe not this year, but maybe next. I tell you what, Philippines is a great place to be during Christmas because they really do a great job celebrating Christmas from September 1st on. All right, guys, we've gone about 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I'm going to lock her down and get ready for the football game. Thanks for coming on, guys. Before you leave, make sure you hit that like button. Thumbs up button really helps the algorithms. The Spanish exploited the people in their colonies. This has created a culture of exploitation in those countries today where they take advantage of others to get ahead. Is this true in the Philippines? I don't know. That's a good question, John. I don't know if it was the Spanish that did that or not. I think more the Western culture has had more of an impact on the Philippines than the Spanish heritage. But as far as the corruption part, I don't know. Nothing works in the nobody cares in the Philippines. Nothing works and nobody cares in the Philippines. Yeah, it seems like that, doesn't it? Have a great day, JJ. Thanks for the chat. Hey, no problem. Snortin' Boar. I like the name of your YouTube. Thanks for the live stream. Best YouTuber on Thailand out there. Oh, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Spread the news. Spread the word. Thanks for answering. No problem, Tom. All right, guys. We're going to call it. I'm all caught up with everything. Have yourself a great either Saturday night or Sunday morning. Yeah, give that thumbs up. 500 years of Spanish rule in the Philippines. Yeah, you're right. But it's been over 100 years. So, but you can see the Spanish influence. Obviously, everything's in Spanish pretty much. I mean, a lot of the Spanish words, especially the Visayan language, a lot of it's Spanish. A lot of the names are Spanish. They changed everything when Spain came and ruled over the Philippines. They changed everybody's name. They changed the names of the cities and the towns and the streets. Everything has Spanish influence. But I looked this up one day. I think, if I remember right, less than 5% of the Philippine population has Spanish heritage. So even though Spain occupied the Philippines for a long period of time, there's not a lot of Spanish mix. Same way with Japanese. When the Japanese invaded, you would think there would be more Japanese blood, but it's not as high as you would think. Go Nebraska. Yeah, go Big Red. Absolutely. Spain left Latin America over 100 years ago too. Yeah. Okay, guys. We're going to call it. You have yourself a great day or night wherever you're at, and wherever you are, live life, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.